Hello parents, I just wanted to send out a quick math cast on what we're doing with rounding, since it looks so much different than what we're used to with the traditional algorithm we've memorized, where you look at the place value, look to the place to the right, see if it's 5 or higher, round up, lower than 5 we round down. That's the method we've always learned. We just want to get a little deeper than that and really start to use our place value understanding with our rounding. So the number in this problem is 994 thousandths. So if we're rounding, being asked to round to a hundredths, nearest hundredth, then we want to see how many hundredths we can make with the number 994 thousandths, which would be 99 hundredths with 4 thousandths that can't be used to make another hundredth. Then for tenths, we can make 9 tenths, plus we have 9 hundredths and 4 thousandths left over that we can't make any new tenths with. And then for ones, there isn't any number in the ones place, so technically we can't make any ones. So it would be 0 ones, 9 tenths, 9 hundredths, 4 thousandths. So basically it looks a lot like the original number we're working with. So then the next step after we write in our place value chart would be to figure out what are our options for rounding. So for nearest hundredth, we would look and we would see we have 99 hundredths. So our option is either 99 hundredths or one up from that, which would be 100 hundredths. Then I always have the students write the value, because when we get to the actual rounding part, the value is what we're rounding to. So 100 hundredths would be 1, and 99 hundredths would be 99 hundredths, written like that. Then we want to find the midpoint. So I always tell the students, really hard, when I ask them to find a number between 99 and 100th, to find that midpoint. So I've been teaching them how to find the midpoint on a horizontal number line. So we could go over here and say, okay, between 0.99 and 1.0. And so they can look at that and see, well, I need to decompose 99 hundredths into 990 thousandths. And so they place zeros to the right of the decimal, which doesn't change the value, but decomposes into smaller units. And now we can look and see in between 990 and 1,000, technically, would be 995, and then turn that into standard form. So that's the midway point. So we can go back to our vertical number line and add that in. Now we can take our number, our original number, and place that along the vertical number line and see that our number that we're actually rounding is closer to 99 hundredths. So 994 thousandths rounded to the nearest hundredth is 99 hundredths. So if we go back and check it with our traditional algorithm, you can look at, we're rounding to the nearest hundredths, which would be the 9, and we're looking to the place value to the right, which is a 4, and we've learned that less than 5 means round down, and I don't like that term because technically we're just rounding off, getting rid of that 4 thousandths and saying we can only make 99 hundredths. So this number rounded to the nearest hundredths is 99 hundredths. And so then I would have them go and do that for the tenths, the ones, and the tens in that same order, finding what are my options, rounding to this number, or technically keeping it the same number, or rounding up to the next highest tenth, finding the midpoint, placing the actual number along the number line, seeing if it's closer to the rounded up number or technically the same amount of tenths, and then seeing what that number is rounded. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.